All right, my loves. So this is a 3.1 retake. retake. So 3.1 is polynomial operations, so I can add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. This is the rubric. If you're able to only add, then you would have gotten a 1. If you're able to add and subtract, you would have gotten a 2, right? I can perform 2. And then in order to get a 3, which as far as we're going to go today, is you can add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. In order to get a 4, it was like an applied area or perimeter problem. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. Quite frankly, when you're adding polynomials, really all you're doing is combining like terms. So for example, f of x is going to be my first equation here. So 3x squared minus 7x plus 8. And to f of x, I'm going to add g of x. I'm going to add everything I have here for g of x, which is 6x minus 3. And like I mentioned before, really all we're doing is combining like terms. So when I say a like term, that means it has the same coefficient it has the same variable and exponent. So like if I look at my 3x squared, I'm going through and I'm looking for any other x squareds. As it turns out, there aren't any, so I'm going to keep my 3x squared by himself. And then I'm going to look at my negative 7x's. And now I'm going to combine anything that just has an x. And the only other thing that has an x is going to be that positive 6. So we have negative 7 plus 6, which means we're going to end up with negative 1 x's. To finish this off, we're just going to go ahead and combine those constants. So that's going to be the positive 8 and the negative 3. So 8 minus 3 is going to give us positive 5. And that's it. Right? Again, with adding polynomials, it's nice and easy. It's really just combining like terms. So we'll do one more. Again, we're going to write f of x, which is our negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 8. And then to that, we're going to add g of x, which is 9x minus 1. Going to go through and combine like terms, starting with our biggest one. So I'm looking. There aren't any other x squareds. So this is our only x squared term. So we're going to go ahead and bring him down. Doing the same thing with just my x's. So I have positive 4x's here. I have positive 9x's over there. Positive 4 plus 9 is going to give us a total of positive 13 x's. And when we finish off, we're just going to go ahead and combine these constant terms. So I'm negative 8, and then I'm negative 1 more, which makes me negative 9. Again, all it really is combining like terms. So you guys are going to have a chance to redo this one. If you get confused, if you get stuck, if you have any questions, just pop back over to these examples and try to work through those. So go ahead and try this one out. So hopefully you guys ended up with negative 9x squared, positive 14x, and then negative 28 as your answer. Right, that's what we were looking for there. Level 2 is just subtraction, which is pretty much the exact same thing as addition, except for there's one baby step. So I'm going to go ahead and write my f of x. And then instead of writing an addition sign, I'm going to put my subtraction sign. And I'm actually subtracting 6x minus 3. When we subtract, we do need those parentheses, because what we're really doing is we have a negative 1 here, and we need to distribute that negative. What that means is that this positive 6 becomes a negative 6, negative 6x. And this negative 3 becomes a positive 3. Again, all I did was change my sign. After I changed my sign, then it's exactly what we were just working on, which is combining like terms. So I have 3x squareds total. I have negative 7 and negative 6, which gives me a total of negative 13 x's. And then positive 8 and positive 3 gives me positive 11. So again, the one extra step with subtraction of polynomials is making sure that we do this distribution. And again, we distribute it to this entire polynomial. So we change the signs of that g of x. So again, I'm going to write my f of x. I'm not doing anything to my f of x. My f of x is staying. But my g of x is going to get that -1, which means I need to distribute. I need to change the sign. So that +9 became -9x, then -1 became +1. From there, just go ahead and combine your like terms. So I only have that 1 3x squared term. +4 and -9 gives me a total of -5x's. And then -8, +1 gives me -7. So this is what we're looking for there. All right, this one is all on you guys. So try it out as your retake, the level 2 subtraction of polynomials. Again, all you really need to remember is that I have to distribute the negative sign to g. All right, so those are your level 1s and 2s. Your level 3 is multiplication of polynomials. We're only going to go over one of these. When we multiply polynomials, it's going to be a box method problem. But in order to know how big our box is, we have to go back to our polynomials. So this one has 1, 2, 3 terms. This one has 2 terms. So I know that I'm going to have a 3 by 2 box. I'm going to put my 3-term polynomial up here. I'm going to put my 2-term polynomial down here. When it comes to multiplying polynomials, what you're going to do is multiply the coefficients. So you're going to multiply these two numbers in front. So 3 times 6 is 18. And then we're going to count up all our x's. So I have 2 x's here. I have an invisible 1 here. So 2 plus 1 is x cubed, 3 x's. So let's see that again. I have -2 times 3 is -6. I don't have any x's down here, but I have 2 up there. So I'm going to still have x squared there. Again, multiply the coefficients. So -7 times 6 is -42. Add or count up your x's. I have 1 x there. I have another x here on top, which means I have x squared. I have 2 x's. When you're multiplying the coefficients, keep in mind of your signs. So -7 times -2 is +14. And then I have just that 1x from the top. Still multiplying the numbers on the outside. 6 times 8 is 48. And then I just have this 1x on the side. I don't have any x's here. Multiplying down, we have 8 times -2, which would give us -16. In order to get our final answer, we're going to look along these diagonals. And you should notice that I have my x squareds on the same diagonal, and I have my x's along the same diagonal. All right? So we're going to combine like terms along there. We're going to add those up. So I have a total of 18x cubes. I'm adding these up. So I have -48x squareds. When I add these up, I get 62. Positive 62x, and then a -16 right at the end. Again, I had the positive 18 there. The positive 48, or I'm sorry, the -48 came from when I added those up. The positive 62 came from when I added up the 14, or I'm sorry, yeah, the 14 and the 48. And then the -16 is just there. All right. So again, come back to this example if you need to. Hopefully you were taking notes so that it's a little bit easier. Remember, all you're doing is multiplying the coefficients and adding the exponents every single time. All right, last problem. Go ahead.